Hi everybody. I have been meaning to have this conversation with you all. I'm being asked why did we lower the cost of our IVF in February of this year? So I want to tell you, there were a couple of factors. The most important thing to know before I even start is to know that when I built Fertility Partnership, it was my goal to bring the cost down of IVF. I'd worked in other programs in town and in my training around the country, and I saw that keeping the costs down was not necessarily a major goal for other programs. I wanted mine to have that as a main focus. Quality, top quality, great chances of getting pregnant, but also keep the costs down as reasonable as possible. I want to show you guys, look this up, is an article written in Newsweek magazine in July of 2010, just a few months after we opened. And in this article, it talks about my goal. Find it, read it, and you'll see that I've been about low costs forever. I've tried to struggle to find that correct price point of what is the right amount of money so I can pay my bills and live a decent life, take care of my kids, and pay my staff, and yet not compromise an inch on my success rates. So two things happened. Well, first thing I would say is I thought that the costs of IVF, the hard cost to do a good cycle, was about $8,000. That's what I thought. And it took me a long time to figure that out, building, but that's what I thought. All of a sudden, the program in New York, which you may all know, started doing it for $5,000. And I think everyone thought that it wasn't going to be any good, or he was not going to be able to survive financially. A few years later, they're doing 1,000 cases a year. Well, of course, they're very busy. I don't think I want to be in an environment that does 80 patients a month. That's a lot. And you don't get to really talk to people. Anybody who knows me knows that I love to talk to my patients. I love to get to know them and be a part of their whole story. So, but he did it for $5,000. So there's an economy of scale. You can actually do it for less. How much less? I wasn't sure. So that was the first thing that jogged me. And then we sent in our data from 2015 that went in December 16, a few months ago, and our live birth rate for women under 35, as most of you probably know by now, is 61.9%, which is extremely high, much higher than any of the programs that had reported in Missouri the year before. So I said, whoa, if we're doing such a phenomenal job, now I can lower my costs. So people around me said, no. When you have such a high success rate, possibly #1 in the area, in the state, I don't know yet if I am, but possibly am, and if I am, you would think that I would then raise my rates because I'm the go-to guy. This is the #1 play. But my response is, my goal, why is IVF so expensive in the United States? My goal has always been to try to make this available because we are doing such an important thing, helping couples who are struggling. So I said, if that's the case, we're going to lower it now. How low? Well, I'm sure you all know now that we've lowered the cost to $7,000. We did it in February, our March cycle, and April cycle, and our cycles are filling up. Obviously, there's a huge response, people coming in from around the country, everywhere from California, North Dakota, and Texas. They're Miami. They're coming from everywhere. And the important thing I have to remind them is that our success rates are phenomenal. I'm hoping that they are not affected by the increased volume, but we're going to limit it. We're not going to allow ourselves, we're not going to do 8 a month. We're going to limit it to whatever it will be, 20, 30. It is what it is. But I'm very happy and very excited, and I believe that at this price point I can continue to provide you superior care. All of our fees have come down and are competitive. This morning, my office manager pointed out to me that another program in the area has lowered their cost. 2 hours, $7,000. What's my feeling about that? Awesome. That's fantastic. Because you know what? We don't even do enough IVF in this country. As I've pointed out many times, we do about 120 cases per year per million population. The Europeans do 3-4 times that. Why is it so? Why are we undertreating our population? Why aren't enough people getting IVF? Because it's too bloody expensive. So bring the cost down. That's great news. The only thing I'll say is that I've been about the lower costs, and for me, this is a decision. We're going to be at this price point. If I can do it for less, you know what? I promise you, I will lower it even more if I can be successful like this. I'm not sure if the other programs that lower their price, if it's not just sort of a gimmick, just to sort of like compete. If it is, great, because they'll find that they're going to have to keep their costs down for a long time, because I'm not going anywhere. I will continue to provide the best care that I can to everybody who walks in my door. Love you guys. I want to be a part of your lives and make the world a better place.